This is a review for the Taotao ATM-150A. Right now, it has 3,326 miles on there. I got it in the black trim. Got it from FamilyGokarts.com for under $1,000. Really a reliable engine. It's a Honda GY6 150cc replica engine, just as reliable as any Honda. Pretty much it's a Honda Ruckus, but with a different frame and some cheaper components. Overall quality, the bike pretty much holds up. Right now, 3,000 miles, I got it in the past 3 months, so I've had a good amount of time of practicing and breaking it in, and I took my road test here in New Jersey, passed it. They did the title. Everything was just was pretty much easy to get this bike on the road and register with plates. Overall, I mean, this bike is pretty reliable, good build, but little fixes here and there. You have to be a little bit mechanical savvy, you know what I mean? Change the oil, change the gear oil periodically after every 1,000 miles. A couple of things, this bike is made of a lot of plastic pieces that come off as a little flimsy, but the overall package, the plastic seems to be pretty durable. The plastic all around seems to be pretty sturdy, but there are situations in which you're going to have to probably use zip ties to tie down like the front chassis and what have you, because these screws that they ship with are pretty cheap screws, and they come loose after you ride so much, all the vibration. So I would just recommend that you replace a lot of the screws and replace the spark plug, do little tune-ups here and there, fix the muffler. If anything, replace the muffler and put a performance muffler. What else? So yeah, this bike is pretty fun to ride, and you can punch it up to like 60 miles an hour. I go through some highways, some different routes and some different type of roads. But this bike pretty much holds up. You could cruise at about 43 miles an hour, no problem. You could punch it up to 50, 55 before the engine starts maxing out. Nothing really malfunctioning right now, but the muffler came loose, so I had to improvise and put a strap so it would stop shaking. Right now there's 2 screws that broke off flush, and they're just little nubs on the bottom of the exhaust where the muffler goes attached. So right now the muffler is on the engine, but there's no screws, so it just wobbles around and sometimes comes out of place. So I've improvised with that. It's a little loud, but I still get the same performance out of it. But definitely when you get these Chinese scooters, things are going to come loose, screws are going to fall off, mufflers probably going to come loose. What else? Another thing you should be wary of, the gas lines and all these different lines for the fuel lines. You got to replace those after a while because they get pretty beat up over time. The stock shocks are pretty much a little squishy, but they do the job. The back drum brake could be a little shady at times, but it does stop, it does slow you down. The front brake, you're going to be relying on the front brake for most of the time, probably 3/4 of the time you're using the front brake. And the front brake does grip, but it has like this caliber over here it says it's anti-lock brakes, but you can indeed lock these brakes up if you try to stop over gravel, and if you try to jam up the brakes, you can lock them up. But this little device over here kind of improvises that and kind of like helps you to the point where you can't really put full force into the brakes. So yeah. Anyway, the brakes do the right job. The drum brakes in the back, you kind of have to tighten it, work with it a little bit, break it in. But after the initial 1,000 miles, if you do your little fix here, your routine oil change, and just make sure that you just go around and inspect all the different screws that attach the chassis to the bike, because they do come loose. Right now I have a lot of stuff going on here. Some zip ties holding the bike because the front cover was coming loose. Another thing that kind of a little flimsy is the bolt in the center that holds the handlebar assembly does come loose, so just be sure to tighten it periodically. Use a Loctite paste. Otherwise, yeah, 3,000 miles in under 3 months, and they were pretty much all city miles and some highway miles. And I pretty much go through Holland Tunnel, New York City areas, and go to New Jersey through Route 7 through Jersey City. And this bike pretty much is held up throughout 3,000 miles and hasn't broken down or crapped out on me. The only problem that I could think of that needs attention right now is the muffler. I have to grind off the broken screws of that muffler and reattach it with a broken bit extractor. It's a long process, but everything else is pretty much rock solid. It starts up every time. It does tend to need a little bit more patience when it's really cold. But cold starts, that's obvious. You're gonna have to either give it a little bit more gas and what have you. But if you keep this in a garage and you don't mind doing little fixes here and there, tightening this, tightening that, and replacing certain parts, then get a Chinese scooter. Chinese scooters will run you about $1,000, and insurance is about $200 and change, and you'll be on the road and going here and there. But another thing to think about when you have a scooter is, things are going to be coming up missing, and things are going to break off of these cheap $1,000 Chinese scooters. I, for example, don't even have no more mirrors, because one time it just fell over. Somebody backed up and knocked it over, broke one of the mirrors off, and yeah. Right now we're in Queens World Plaza in New York, Queens, and the other mirror was totally gone. It was already a little cracked when it came to shipping, so I went through a bump, and lo and behold, the thing just cracked off and flew off. Nothing else pretty much malfunctioning or not working here. Everything seems to be perfect. This is a Taotao ATM 150.